In the back of the book segment tonight, a congressional committee has just wrapped up its Solyndra investigation, and it doesn't make the White House look very good. The report was released by Republicans on the House Energy and Commerce Committee. It concludes that political pressure by the White House was largely to blame for fast-tracking a $535 million loan guarantee to Solyndra, the now bankrupt solar energy company. Adding to the embarrassment, the Republican National Committee released a 2009 email that showed the former CEO of Solyndra referred to the federal aid as, quote, the Bank of Washington, end quote. The White House defended the overall loan guarantee program, saying it's been critical to supporting alternate energy innovation. Joining us now, Republican strategist Didi Benke and former Obama campaign consultant John Hlinko. Didi, I just think that this kind of is a nail in the coffin, an email referring to taxpayer money as the Bank of Washington?
No, it's awful, Juan. It's just like, hey, buddy, give me some greenbacks for the green energy, Bank of Washington. I mean, that's a terrible message. I mean, that's not what it's supposed to be all about. Altogether, $6.5 billion on green energy projects, and 12 of the companies are in trouble. That's not good.
Well, so what about the idea that, in fact, this is supporting innovation and the government had to do something here because of competition coming from China, Brazil, and elsewhere?
Here's the thing, Juan. Why don't we go with the real thing? Why don't we go with coal? And why don't we go with drilling offshore? And the Keystone Pipeline, how about that idea? These are things that we can have energy for sure, instead of going on Obama's excellent energy adventures. When we do not know if something's going to happen, and when we're broke, I don't know, maybe we should go for the sure thing instead of the adventurous track, which, you know, it's fun to try new things, but we just don't have money to do that.
John, you just heard from Didi this idea that, you know what, this seems pretty much like the nail in the coffin, that this report comes out, but is there really heavy evidence here that you think finally says the White House was wrong and just feathering the bed of their political contributors and friends?
Well, now we know what the House has been doing for the last 18 months. Instead of creating jobs, they've been finding an email. So I give them credit.
You mean finding one email?
One email. It's amazing.
So you dismiss this as one email?
Well, look, I mean, it's clearly a partisan witch hunt. They were looking for some reason. I mean, this whole Solyndra thing, it just goes on and on and on, rather than creating jobs, rather than admitting that, yeah, sometimes high-tech ventures fail. I mean, I feel like if we'd been in the
Sometimes $6.5 billion?
But that's what happens. I mean, for every Google, for every Facebook, you know how many companies there are that didn't do well? This is high-tech. This is cutting edge.
You know, but here's the thing, John. Really, the hardware store owner has to give an arm, has to give firstborn, and probably 300 documents to get a small business loan. You know, these guys, in a record amount of time, they were able to get $535 million. I mean, I just feel bad for small businesses. They don't get the same treatment.
You love America, right?
Yes, of course.
You want America to be energy independent? It ain't happening with coal and oil.
You know what? It'd be really great if we could have taken the $535 million and had more clean coal energy. Instead of the Obama administration has killed the coal industry, something that we know we have, as well as natural gas.
Now,
and
Didi,
offshore.
let me just quickly say here that this investigation was not bipartisan. It was done by Republicans with the intent to embarrass the White House. Does that undermine the power of what they have found?
Not the intent to embarrass one, the intent to find the truth. I mean, when this guy is saying, hey, buddy, it's the Bank of Washington, that tells you that it's a problem.
John, is it a problem that this was not a bipartisan effort?
If they wanted to have a real investigation, it should have been bipartisan. It's like having a competition for the smartest pundit and having my mom as the judge.
Well,
you know, I mean, it's absurd. It's so clearly
He's worried
partisan.
about the tax returns. He's not worried about this wasted money. I mean, Americans are suffering now, and we had all this wasted money on energy. Heck, I mean, they're spending $20 million in Africa on clean burning stoves.
But we're spending money on the energy of the future. I mean, China's doing it, India's doing it, Europe's doing it.
It's Obama's excellent energy adventures. We don't know if that's
but when we were shooting for the moon, we didn't know if we would make it.
Well, I'm sorry, but
sometimes you're going to try these things that are hard.
We don't have money. We need to go for the sure thing, the energy that we've got now, so we don't have to spend $5 a gallon for gas.
We have 2% of the world's proven crude reserves, and we use 20% of the oil. You can't make that up on volume.
But wait. You guys are far too serious about this. You guys are having a real debate. Wait a minute. Slow down. You have to understand that the charge here is that this money was wasted on political cronies, John. What do you say to that?
Well, look, investments are going to be made all the time that don't pay off. And should there be, look, if there's an investigation,
well, it was fast-tracked because it because it was going to their buddies.
Absolutely.
Well, we don't know. What we did is we found an email.
Definitely. I mean, that's
well, there was an email. Someone talked about getting money from
Mr. Hlinko, thank you so much.